Hey guys, this is Kevin Kim with Precision Powerlifting Systems. I'm going to do a very quick video today about max effort and selection of weights. So one of the things that my group struggles with quite a bit is putting the right weight on the bar on a max effort day. And what ends up happening is you get lifters that end up chasing numbers, they put too much weight in the bar, and they end up missing too many reps in training. The goal is not to miss. Missing's going to happen occasionally, and it's not a huge deal. But if we miss too much, that's not what we want. Okay, so we want more successful attempts in training because that goes, more towards the overall success of the lifter. You want to be able to build momentum and do all of those things. So one of the things that I notice in training, and even with my two training partners, is they'll hit a weight, and instead of just going for that 5-pound PR, they'll bypass that 5 pounds to put 10 pounds on. And one thing I say all the time is we need to get better 5 pounds at a time. I think Dave Tate had said this, but I might be misquoting who actually said it. But why talk about a 10-pound miss when you can talk about a 5-pound make? The goal of max effort is just to break a new record and then move on. It's not necessarily to chase some certain number or whatever it may be. And I think this tends to happen more with the beginners and the intermediates than it does with more advanced lifters. So it's really important, number one, that you're keeping track of all the variations and all your best lifts in those variations. The goal is to come into the gym and beat that by 5 pounds. So we run 3-week waves. So week 1, you're just getting on the board. Get used to it, leave 5 to 10 pounds out there. So you're talking like a hard second, easy third attempt at a competition. That's what we want for that first max effort. And then we can come in the following week and try to break that record. But let's say you're pretty close to a max week 1. We can come in, we can do 80% for some 4 doubles on week 2, come back and try to break the record week 3. So the goal earlier in a block is to get used to the exercise and to set yourself up for future progress and future momentum. So to get better 5 pounds at a time. We need an exercise in there for a period of time to actually get the benefits from it. So Westside will rotate their max effort lifts every week, and that's probably necessary for the level of lifter that they have. But I've realized that 3 to 6 weeks is necessary for us to even get something out of an exercise. So if you vary the training too much, you don't necessarily get what you're looking for out of that training. So if we want to get the most out of a 3-week period, it's very important that we make the right decisions on a max effort lift. And it doesn't mean that you just come in and you put that PR number on that bar and then you go and you miss it. Like, you need to use your warm-ups 1 rep at a time. The goal is to get quality repetitions and build a solid base of training and solid momentum so that we can move forward over time. What ends up happening is you'll have lifters come in week 1, they miss a repetition, we're doing reps the following week, and it ends up being a wave that could have worked out a lot better. Westside back in the day, and I had just learned this, week 1 of a wave, they would work up to a triple. Week 2 of that wave, they'd use that same exercise. That triple would be a single, and it would be their last warm-up. So then they would make a jump after that single. So whatever it is, And then week 3, they would beat that record. So let's say we're doing high bar wide stance squats. You work up to a triple at 405. That's week 1. Week 2, you come in, 405 is your last warm-up, and you're doing it for a single. And then you're making a jump. So let's say you go 425. That 425 is setting a bar to break the next time you come in, right? So then week 3, you come in, you hit 430, and then you walked away. Like, it wasn't necessarily you go till your eyes bleed type of program. And it's about building success, building momentum, and that extra 5 pounds that you put on the bar that might make you miss, or that extra 10 pounds, or you're chasing some number, that's not appropriate, and that's not what we're looking for in these max effort days. We're looking for quality, hard repetitions. So ideally, I want somebody to come in and get 3 to 4 solid, hard reps, and then walk away. The lifters that I coach too often are missing repetitions in training. And don't get me wrong, like, you're going to miss. But, so I'm going to use Mike as an example yesterday. So week 1 of a wave, he hit 265 on an incline press. Week 2, we did 80% for 4 doubles and then some higher volume back downs with the incline. Yesterday, he smokes 265, decides to go to 275, misses it halfway up, misses it twice. So in that wave there, if he had come in, he could have, you hit the 265, you come in the next week, you do the reps, you hit the 270 and you walk away. That is a much more productive block than missing 275 twice at the end because you're trying to stretch those numbers. It's not about the number that's on the bar, it's about competing against yourself and breaking a record. So 5 pounds, walk away. And I actually may start instituting that rule with my group that, you're only allowed to put 5 pounds more, and then maybe you need to ask my permission to go up again or something. But I do need to rein some of that stuff in. And I've had these conversations with my lifters. Not everything should be nose bleeding, eyes popping out 10s. There's a time and a place where you should be competing against yourself and against the numbers, but it shouldn't be happening every week. So I have it set up in our system that week 3 in a wave, if you hit that 5 pound PR and there's more there and you want to compete and you want to go after something, you want to put some weight on the bar, you have that opportunity. So you have an opportunity one time per month to do that. And to me, that's more than enough. You definitely don't need to be doing that more often. And if you're doing that every single week, you're coming in and your nose is bleeding, eyes popping out of your head, it's not necessarily the most beneficial thing for training. Like, I think that's where you have a lot of negative emotions towards max effort work. And I think that's why that's like that, is because, they view people just maxing to the limits every single week. And you're just not going to be able to do that long term. So keep track of all your personal bests. Beat it by 5 pounds. And if you're doing 3-week waves like we do them, week 1 sets the pace. Week 2, you get used to it. You either beat that by 5 pounds and walk away, and then you can come in week 3 and beat that by 5 pounds and walk away. You'll get much more out of it than if you're just constantly missing repetitions. You need to be smart. Okay, that extra 5 to 10 pounds is probably not making the difference between you adding more to your total or less to your total. But like I said, there's a time and a place to be competitive and to really basically hang your dick out there. But those times have to be few and far between. Make good decisions in training, 5 pounds at a time. Follow me on Instagram, it's KWCan, our team, Precision Powerlifting System.